Hey guys, this is Danny with Patrick Adair Supplies. You may notice I'm here with a new face.
Hey, I'm Trevor. I'm another ring maker at Patrick Adair, and I've been here for about a year. I'll be helping with some of the videos here in the future.
Yeah, he's going to be taking over for me. We're going to be working on the October ring box for this month. It's going to be a really fun one. I'm excited for you guys to see it. All right, let's go ahead and open up the box. All right, we've got our two surprises for you. So first up,
So today we have our freebie. It is a rainbow assortment of all of our powders. They all are really fluorescent, bright. They make some really good rings. I've never had any issues with them. Let's go on to what's in the box.
yeah, they're a lot of fun to work with. They work really well, like Trevor was saying. But for this month's ring, we're actually going to be working with our neon red glow powder. This one's really cool to work with because the neon the red part is already part of the glow powder, so you don't have to add any color pigment to it. And it's a really nice fluorescent red once you wet it with the CA adhesive. Next up we have our crimson opal. This is just a really nice vibrant red opal. It has just lots of tones of light red, a little bit of orange in there, and it's a really nice one to work with because of how true to red it is. Next up we have Moonstone. Since we're going for kind of a spooky Halloween vibe, we decided to go with Moonstone because that represents werewolves and it's helping us kind of just visualize the full moon that causes our werewolves to transform at the end of at some point during every month. And this month we're going to be including some silver wire. We're going to be using it this month to kind of represent the silver bullets that can kill werewolves. It's just going to be a new item that we're including, but for this month we're including it for that special reason. And then finally, we're going to show off our ring blank. This is our double channel black ceramic ring blank. It's a really cool one to work with because of how scratch resistant and strong black ceramic is. It is very scratch resistant, and I love working with the double channel. It really allows us to get just a really unique look because of the black ceramic that's going to be running down the center of our inlay. So I'm excited to work with this one. I love working with black ceramic. It's one of my favorite materials for ring blanks. All right, let's go ahead and get started making this month's ring. Okay, our first step today is to crush the crimson red opal. With the crimson red opal, since we're going to be doing it in a double channel inlay ring, we want to make sure that we do it very finely crushed. We're looking to make sure that it fits within that inlay channel, and since it is a double channel, it's just much thinner. So we just want to make sure that we're crushing it to a very small size. Next we'll crush our moonstone, and we're looking for the same thing. Looking for a lot smaller pieces, fairly finely crushed. These ones can be a little bit bigger because we're going to hand place them and make sure that we are happy with how they're situated in the inlay channel. So these ones can be slightly larger, but still a fairly fine crush. Next we're going to cut our silver wire. I just folded it over a couple of times so that I could cut multiple pieces at the same time. I was going for just a couple of millimeters a piece. That way they can really just evoke that imagery of silver bullets, and being that they're the only things that can kill werewolves, that's what we're looking for, is just a bullet-esque shape and size. Obviously it's not the same size as the bullet, but it kind of is to evoke that imagery. Next we'll throw our blank on the mandrel, and for this we're just going to be using a standard ring mandrel with some electrical tape on it. Since we're using black ceramic, I always like to use the electrical tape just to add a little bit of insulation between the mandrel and the ring, just to prevent any cracking and damage as much as possible. Next, our first step while inlaying the ring is we're going to do a thin layer of our super thin CA adhesive in both sides of the channel, and then we're just going to dump our neon red color pigment on top of that to fill in the bottom of our inlay channel. Since we are going to be placing stuff in there and on top of it, we want it to be a fairly thin layer of our color pigment. So that's why we're doing just a little bit of our CA adhesive, a little bit of the super thin CA. Next, we're going to hand place those pieces of silver wire. So to do this, I'm going to just be doing a couple dabs of our thick glue and then hand placing as many pieces of the silver as you'd like. I went with just a couple of pieces spread throughout the ring. There's probably 15 or so, but I was just placing them every so often, kind of randomizing it, but making sure that they're pushed all the way to the bottom just so that they have a cool depth and they're kind of pushed down into the ring. On all the way around, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of accelerator, allow it to sit for a couple minutes to cure through, and then I'll begin doing layers of our super thin CA adhesive to fill in the rest of the ring, just to ensure that everything's up above the lip of the inlay channel. Alright, after those layers of super thin CA adhesive have cured, next we're going to use our Dremel, and we're going to just Dremel everything flush. Since it is black ceramic, it's very scratch resistant, so you don't need to be too careful with that because you're not going to scratch your ceramic. But you do want to be careful because if you apply too much pressure in one spot for too long, you can cause the ring to shatter or crack. So keep that in mind that if you do apply way too much pressure, you could damage your ring that way. But for the most part, as long as you're being careful and just dremeling it flush, you will be fine. After we've dremeled everything flush and done a 220 hand sand, just to smooth everything off and make sure that all of the holes are filled, what we need to do next is do another layer of our super thin CA adhesive, just to fill in any cracks or crevices that formed while we were dremeling, and to fill in those air pockets. After that final layer of our super thin CA adhesive has cured, we're going to go ahead and just do our hand sanding process. And I always do 220, 500, and 1000. I find that it does a fairly good job with the finishing steps, and I like the look of the rings after those 3 sanding. So once you're done with that, go ahead and polish up the ring. For me, for this ring, I just did a Step 2 Astrotech polish. It's just kind of our all-in-one polish, and it does a really good job of polishing softer materials like moonstone and crimson opal that don't require as much. They don't require as much polishing to get a nice shine and a nice luster on them. So I just used the Step 2 all-in-one polish, and I'm really happy with how this ring turned out. I think it looks beautiful. I really love the contrast between the moonstone and the silver with the red backdrop. I think the ring just looks gorgeous, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.
Alright, so this is the finished ring. I am really pleased with how it turned out. Had a lot of fun making this one. The moonstone and the silver wire really go well together. They kind of pop with that crimson behind it, and it goes along with the lore for werewolves. It is just a really, really pretty ring. Turned out nice.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed this one. I think it was a lot of fun to make. The silver wire is a nice addition. I think it adds a lot of contrast to the crimson opal and the neon red background. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed making this one as much as we did. We'll see you in the next one. Remember to like and subscribe.